Hello friends, today we will be working with cards, which happens to be my favorite subject. We will work in EtchWP, which is the new page builder I am using, and we'll work with Automatic.CSS and specifically the card framework. Let's take a look at our Figma file because we already have a collection of some card examples that we may use across the pages of our website. And what we notice right away is the repeatability and consistency between the card styles. So we notice that the padding of all my cards is the same, border radius appears to be the same, typography seems pretty much standardized. So it would make sense for me to create some kind of system on how I can create, organize and manage these global styles that apply for my cards. Let's take a look in EtchWP, and here we only have so far the HTML structure for our cards. We will be working today with the media card, the testimonial card and the icon card. In the Automatic.CSS sidebar, click on Cards and make sure that the card framework is activated. And essentially what the card framework is doing is it is generating and exposing a number of variables regarding spacing, typography, borders, and we can use these variables and reference them specifically when we are working with cards. And I will show you right now what this practically means. Let me go to the media card and apply BEM classes. And let me do the same to the testimonial and icon cards. Now every HTML element has a class. Let's say that I want to give my media card some padding. What I can do is to reference the padding variable from the card framework. So for example, this is going to be card padding. And let me give it some border radius. And assign it to the card radius. And let me give it background color. Okay. Now what I can do is I can go to my testimonial card, simply paste the same CSS, and finally in my icon card, and do the same. And now if I want to globally manage the styling of all my cards, what I can do is I go to the card framework, adjust the spacing for example, let's go to borders and border radius, let's set it to the small size. Okay, so essentially the card framework, apart from keeping all my card styles organized, it gives me a single source of truth for manipulating all the design properties of my cards across every page of my website. Let me revert back. I think it was L, and the spacing it was L as well. So this is the first and most straightforward way to interact with the card framework. There are two more ways, and this is what makes this workflow very much efficient. And the other two ways are automatic and semi-automatic. Let me show you what I mean. First, I will get rid of the styles. And then I go to the card framework options and enable the automatically style cards toggle. And let me save the page. So, what happened now? All the three cards in my page have been automatically styled using the variables that I'm managing in the card framework. How did this happen? Well, by enabling this automatically style cards toggle, the framework is looking into any class name that includes the term card in it. This is customizable, and you can customize it from the AutoCard selector in the targeting settings. But if you create the HTML for any card and you create relevant classes for these elements and you include the word card in the class name, it will be automatically styled without us needing to add a single line of CSS. Okay. The third way is the semi-automatic way. So let me disable the automatic styling. And now we are back in the unstyled version. But let's say that I want to target specifically all the icon cards. I go to targeting settings, add the class that I want to target, in our case the icon card, and let's save again. And here we see that only the icon card has been automatically styled. Again, it does not include any type of styling in the classes. And you can see that on my other cards, for example, I can manually add the CSS that I need to add. Okay, and essentially, again, the styling is managed with a global scope. So regardless the method of targeting, is it going to be manual by manually adding the CSS and referencing the card framework variables? Is it going to be automatic, or is it going to be semi-automatic just by targeting the class? In any case, I can still globally manage the styles of my cards. Let's take a look at the light and dark card variations. So these two tabs essentially provide us options for working with color. Under options, you can select your primary card style. So the default style, is it going to be the light version or the dark version? If it is going to be the light version, you work on the light tab. If it's going to be the dark version, you are working on the dark tab. But this doesn't mean that you cannot apply the dark variation onto an existing light card. So in our case, I can use a dark modifier, and it's going to work like this. Icon card dark. So whatever class I create and apply on my card, if it includes this part, --dark, and you see that my card element has inherited all the colors that correspond to the dark card variation. So it's very, very flexible. Personally, how I use it is I have the automatic styling enabled by default, and I use it as a good default setting for my cards. At any point, I can customize anything. Okay, so here if I go to my icon card, the dark version, here's what I can do. I can tell the framework that, okay, you have a global variable about padding, which is this one. But for this specific instance of the card, I want this to be this one. So instead of the space XL size that we use for all our cards, for this specific instance, I want you to use the space S size. You can add the CSS as well if you want to do it. So alternatively, you could do and it has the same effect. Whatever works best for you. So that was pretty much it for the card framework. Again, I really love cards. I love designing them. I love building them and making them as much flexible and scalable as they can be. If you like this content, feel free to subscribe to the channel and visit skinnywp.com for supporting content. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.